Hey everybody, it's Jennifer from Gen Vibes Only. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be setting up my prayer journal. So let's get started. Okay, so for my prayer journal, I decided to shop my own stash, and I have this classic size outdated planner on my shelf, and this is what I'm going to be using for my prayer journal. And as I'm setting this prayer journal up, I'm going to be talking to you guys a little bit about why I'm starting this journal and how I'm going to be using it. So the first thing that I'm going to do is switch out my disc. I'm going to remove these gold plastic discs and add on black plastic discs. So a little bit of background information about my faith and why I'm starting this prayer journal now. So I grew up very secular. I was not raised in a Christian home. I did not start reading the Bible until I was well into my 20s. And then in my late 20s, I got married, my son was born, and then I went through a sudden divorce. My older brother was diagnosed with cancer, and then he ended up passing away. So when all of that happened to me, the little bit of faith that I did build up, I threw it out of the window. I was very angry at God, and I just could not reconcile the death of my brother and still maintain some sort of faith. So I proceeded to just dive headfirst into the world, into a lot of unhealthy habits, trying to run away from the pain and grief and loss of my marriage falling apart and the death of my brother. So for the past 10 years or so, I haven't had like a steady sort of faith routine. And the last couple of years or so, I've really been trying hard to get back into my faith. And in 2021, I started teaching at a Christian school, and that really sort of inspired me to get back into my faith. The mistake that I think that I make in coming back into my faith is that I try to do everything at once. It's like, I want to start going to church. I want to start reading my Bible. I want to start praying. And I'm trying to do all those things at once, and I'm not getting anywhere because it's just way too much for me, especially being someone that wasn't raised in a Christian home. I find it really hard to just adopt all of these habits all at once. So I told myself, I just want to focus on one thing right now, and that one thing is going to be prayer. I really like having that time alone, sitting at God's feet and just having that alone time and just pouring my heart out to God is just very therapeutic for me. And that's what I enjoy doing, and that's what I want to focus on. So now that I've taken off the gold discs, I'm going to add the black disc onto the planner covers. And then I'm going to put all of the pages back into the planner. I am going to be putting the planners in as the current month. So even though this planner is outdated, I'm still going to start with the month of May because that is the month that we are currently in. And I will do some minor redating as needed. So I'm going to go back into these papers and find the month of May and just set up May, June, July in that sequential order, and then proceed to go from there. So when I was younger, I used to pray to God to give me all the things that I wanted. Like, God, please help me get this job, or, God, please help me get this apartment, or God, please, I really want to get this car. It was all about me, what I wanted. And I have really grown in my relationship in the Lord, and I've really humbled myself to not pray for what I want. I pray for God's will to be done in my life. So now my prayers are like, God, whatever you want to happen, that's what I'm going to go with. There have been a lot of prayers that have been answered. And then there's been a lot of prayers of mine that God did not answer. And I'm so thankful that He did not answer those prayers. You know, it's like you can't see it then, but, you know, looking back in hindsight, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so glad that did not happen. So this prayer journal is not so much about what I want, it's about what God wants for my life. And that me coming to this point has taken a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and heartbreak, and humility, and maturity on my walk with the Lord. It's always really fun setting up a new journal or planner, and I'm really looking forward to my journey in this journal. And it would be really nice to flip through this journal 1 year from now and see my growth and my progress in my prayer life. And I'm at a stage in my life where there's been a lot of growth that's been occurring in my life, and I'm really grateful for that. And I'm at a place in my life where I don't want to take anything for granted. And I am really just sitting back and meditating on all of God's blessings. It's a blessing to have movement in my body and to be able to walk and go to the gym. It's a blessing to be able to indulge in my journaling and planning hobbies. It's a blessing to have a little bit of money left over at the end of the month to buy some of the things that I enjoy. It's a blessing to have a healthy child and to be able to spend time with that child. And it's a blessing to be able to go out for a meal with my family and friends. It's a blessing to be in a place where I can further my education. It's a blessing to have a roof over my head, clothes on my back, and it's a blessing to have an apartment. It's a blessing to be able to still afford groceries in this economy. It's a blessing to have reliable transportation. And it's a blessing to be gainfully employed, to have a job that pays the bills and supports my son and I. And it's a blessing to be able to teach the next generation. And I wouldn't be able to do anything that I'm doing now without God's love and God's grace and His mercy and His forgiveness and the fact that He died on the cross for my sins.